announcements coming out yet again. Big shock there, right? So anyway, want to jump on this live stream with you really quickly and spend some time talking about what's going on right now. And as you can tell by the title of this live stream too as well, I want to talk about how Trump could say the magic words that would send out stimulus checks immediately, okay? Now, I know right now there's a lot of different things that are going on, but I want to explain this for you really quickly because considering what we're dealing with right here, right now, we're seeing some very interesting things going on, okay? Now, this is actually kind of interesting because I want to throw this out there just super fast here, and then we're going to get into the information here, which again, what I want to talk about with you and just spend some time with just going through the details of this. But last week, one day, well, I think it was Thursday maybe of last week. I'm not sure exactly the day. Maybe it was Thursday or Wednesday, something like that. I released a video, and in that video, I said something along the lines of Trump may be purposely pushing us into a recession. Now, the video didn't get like a ton of views. It was maybe like, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 people watched the video. But my point is, that's like pretty much what we're seeing right now, okay? Now, that may be the strategy. Now, as I explained in that video from last week, this is literally, in my opinion, okay, I could be totally wrong about this, but based on what we're seeing here, it seems like we are being purposely pushed into an economic situation or a recession, economic contraction, whatever you want to call it, on purpose, okay? Based on what we're currently seeing right now, that's what it's looking like. But I've said this before in other videos, if you are in the camp of, hey, give us a stimulus, hey, we need a stimulus check, we're rooting for a stimulus check, things like that, if that is the space that you're in, this is what you want to see. I mean, this is like a good thing that you want to see right now, okay? Now, obviously, when it comes down to the economy and all the details like that, you know, obviously, we don't want to see the economy crash and burn. We don't want to see people losing their jobs, things like that. But that goes hand in hand with a recession and an economic contraction. So anyway, let's talk about a couple different things that are going on right now, kind of bring up to speed as far as what's happening last couple of days, today, what we've seen so far today, and as far as kind of playing into, again, the title of this live stream, okay, I'm not just going to sit here and just talk about all these other topics, but I want to lead all this into that and explain exactly what I mean by the title. Again, instant stimulus checks and how he could say the magic words, okay? All right, so let's just explain super fast. What happened yesterday? Well, whether you watch it or not, I'm sure you heard somewhere yesterday, the financial markets really went down quite a bit. The biggest drop in the financial markets since 2022, okay? Now, is that a good or bad thing? Just depends on how you look at it. It just is what it is, right? But anyway, so that happened yesterday. Now, today, markets aren't doing that great either. Again, not down a ton, but down somewhat. And again, you might be thinking, this has nothing to do with stimulus. It actually does. Just hang with me here, okay? Now, also earlier today as well, we heard Trump come out just out of nowhere, had no idea this was going to come out. He came out earlier and said, yep, we're going to jack up the tariffs on Canada on steel and aluminum for basically retaliation of the on the tariffs that Canada's putting on us with electricity exports. Okay, so basically that's what he's doing. So now it is a 50% tariff on steel and aluminum coming out of Canada. Again, a 50% tariff, right? So that's kind of the situation. Now I'm going to say this one as well. Literally, as I was sitting down to start this live stream, like couple minutes ago, literally across my phone came a bunch of notifications. I get tons of notifications every day of breaking news and things like that. But apparently Canada is pausing the tariff on electricity exports to the United States. Okay, so I'd have to look into that a little bit more. Literally, like as I'm sitting down in my chair here, across on my phone comes all these notifications. They're pausing. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll look into that a little bit later because I'm literally going to start this live stream right here, right now. Okay, anyway. So that's what's going on. Now, why? Why would the administration, why would anybody purposely push us into a recession and economic situation? Well, what did we know last year before even the election took place and before the inauguration? What did we hear out of the president, right? What did we hear out of Trump? He came out very clearly and was urging Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, to lower interest rates aggressively, right? I mean, he's been calling on this for a very long time. Many, many months now, he's been calling on the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, to cut interest rates. Come on, lower interest rates, okay? Well, here's the thing. I explained this in the video last week that I put out, again, talking about how he could be potentially pushing us into a recession. Why? This is the massive reset button, okay? I've said this before. And you've heard me say this. What is a recession? Well, number one, it's basically just a contraction in the overall economy. But think of it this way. It's literally a reset of the economy, okay? What would we get out of a recession? well, we'd get a lot of really good things that come out of it. Don't get me wrong, some bad things too, but it's kind of the nature of the beast, right? But here's a couple of things that we know we would get for sure out of a recession. Number one, we would see prices come down. Pretty much prices on everything would come down significantly, right? So that'd be good. Not sure about you, but I'm rooting for lower prices. I love lower prices. I love free stuff. I love discounts. These high prices, honestly, not a fan, right? Not a fan whatsoever. I think we can all probably agree with that. Again, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm just saying I think we can all probably agree that not a fan of the big high prices, okay? So that's number one. What else would happen? Interest rates would come down aggressively. The Federal Reserve would come in, they'd scramble around like a bunch of mice, and they'd be running all over the place, cutting interest rates aggressively. That would be good. That'd be really, really good. Again, interest rates very high right now. Not a fan. It's very expensive. If you're floating balances on a credit card sitting at like 22.5% interest, that's not fun. Mortgage rates are sitting at like 6.75%. That's not good. To borrow any money right now of any kind, whatever it happens to be, again, very expensive. Who's borrowing money these days? Not many people. The only people that really are those individuals floating balances on credit cards, and it's very, very expensive. I'm doing it. Not a fan. I'm not doing that at all. To me, that is the biggest waste of money, in my opinion. Paying interest on a credit card, I do not love that. I absolutely despise that. Every time I see that statement, like all these hundreds of dollars going literally up in flames every single month because of interest on a credit card, don't love that. Not a fan whatsoever. But unfortunately, it's the reality for way too many people right now. And again, me included, okay? But the situation being is we would see a lot of this evaporate with a recession. Yep, we would see unemployment go up. Yes, for sure, we would see that. But we would see prices come down. We would see interest rates come down. We would see the markets come down. But would that be a bad or good thing? Depends on how you look at it. Again, it is what it is, right? But here's another thing that comes out of it. Every single time with a recession, you know this, I've said it many times before, but they also print tons and tons and tons of money. Now, back in the olden days, olden days being like, I don't know, 15, 17, 18, 20 years ago, things like this, they printed hundreds of billions of dollars and they pushed it out in the form of stimulus. Well, as of a few years ago, we don't even mess with hundreds of billions of dollars anymore. We do trillions of dollars now, okay? Now, here's the situation. Because of all this that's happening, again, the markets are sinking, the economy is not doing so great. I mean, we're seeing all these cracks coming out there right now in the overall economy. We're seeing this whole thing weakening up pretty fast here, right? It's been coming. We know this. This is no shock whatsoever. We know the strategy behind this. I've played this, or I've explained this many times before in other videos, which is we've known that this is coming. This is no surprise whatsoever to anybody. We've known this for many months now. The administration, the current president has said this last year. Basically, it's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be fun. But the whole strategy is short-term pain for long-term gain. That's literally what they're going off of here. No pain, no gain, okay? So we know that. Now, over the weekend as well, I believe it was on Sunday, the president was out in an interview and basically said, yeah, we may go into a recession, basically confirming the fear of everybody that, yep, we may go into a recession, which is why the market sold off so aggressively yesterday. Because many people are coming in, hey, the president confirmed, yep, got a recession imminent, here it comes. Here's that recession knocking on our door. And again, we've kind of been waiting for this. We've known it's been coming. And I was out with a video maybe a month ago, give or take a little bit. Actually, it was right around the beginning of February. So yeah, probably a little over a month ago, 5 weeks ago or so, I was out in a video and I said, this is it, the catalyst, this is going to push us into a recession. What is it that I was talking about? I was talking about tariffs. I brought it in that video and I said, this is it. In my opinion, we've been waiting for this for a while now. And in my opinion, the tariffs are going to be the thing that push us over the cliff into that big recession we've been looking for a few years now, okay? Now, could this whole thing reverse? It could, but considering the trajectory that we're on, and again, I'm only scratching the surface here. We haven't even talked about Doge yet, right? They're doing all kinds of chaos. There's all kinds of stuff, which, by the way, stay tuned. I will have some more information for you later. Oh boy, there's some more things happening here, okay? Yeah, let's talk about that in a separate video. That's going to open up a whole nother can of worms. Please stay tuned. I certainly have some information I need to share with you on that. Okay, so that's another thing. Now, as well as you saw my video from this morning, what am I talking about in that video? Friday. What's happening Friday? Yeah, probably a government shutdown. I mean, what else can we throw into the mix here, right? I mean, seriously, throw her into the blender. Seriously, that's about where we're at right now. It is just such a mess that's going on. Okay, but here's what's happening. With everything melting down like this, again, part of the plan, in my opinion, is to kind of melt the whole thing down. And then what's going to happen? It'll bring everything down, as I just explained a couple minutes ago. Okay, so then what? What happens then? Well, literally, we could see this whole thing continue to fall. All it would take, just think of it this way. All it would take is a couple words out of the president. That's all it would take, literally a couple words. The president could come out in 5 minutes from now. I mean, do you have any idea what he's going to say next? I don't have a clue. I had no idea that extra 25% tariff on steel and aluminum out of Canada was coming this morning. Had no idea. All of a sudden, there it was. Boom, there it is, right? Nobody knew about it, and there it is. My point is, at any given point, the president could come in and be like, hey, enough is enough. We've seen the economy going down. We see the markets selling off. We see everything melting down right in front of us here. We're going to stop the whole Doge movement. We're going to stop all of this, everything that they're doing, and let's just stimulate. Let's stimulate. Yep, we're going to do some stimulus here, right? If he were to say that, think of it. Everything would bottom immediately. The markets would be like an absolute rocket ship going like straight up. The markets would reverse on a dime. We would see all kinds of things that would completely reverse, and it would be like boom city again. Why would that be? Because they would probably come out with some kind of massive stimulus. And again, within the reconciliation bill, does it seem a little bit odd how the timing on this is possibly playing into maybe a couple months out from now? And again, they have not passed the reconciliation yet. In fact, what's kind of interesting about it is they've been working through it, and all of a sudden it's kind of like paused on the whole thing for a little while here. It seems a little bit weird, in my opinion. It seems to me like maybe this is setting up into the timing where they can maybe throw some extra little goodies into that. Remember, within a reconciliation bill, they can do just about anything they want, including stimulus. And yes, they can even do executive orders to do stimulus, okay? Doesn't mean that he's going to. All I'm saying is that he could if he wanted to. But here's the situation. As we see this whole thing melting down, okay? Again, president could come out at any given point and say, we want stimulus. We're sick of it. We don't want the meltdown. We want to stop all of this. We're just going to stimulate and just go back to boom. We're going to go right back to growth. But here's the thing as well. For several years, coming out of 2020 and 2021, what happened is that they printed about $6 trillion of fresh new money in about a 12-month period of time, okay? They printed 22% of the money supply for US dollars in a 1-year period of time. That's, again, $6 trillion, 22% of our money supply in a 12-month period of time. We've never seen that in history, in the history of this country before. We've never seen that before. It's crazy, right? Well, then what did we see basically 2021, 2022, 2023? What did we see for that few year period of time? Massive growth in the economy. Why? It was a ton of money that was being plowed into the economy, just going everywhere. So it was super easy during that time. Well, now we've gotten to this time where we're kind of like flatlined for the last year and a half or so. We've kind of been flatlined, and not a whole lot has been going on with it. Okay, well then what? Are we going to go back to a massive growth phase after a big growth phase, and then a kind of a flatline for a year, whatever it happened to be, and then we're going to go back to growth again? No, that's not how it works. That is not how the natural economic cycle goes, right? We need to go through a downturn first, and then we can go back to growth. That's just how it works. That is the natural ebb and flow of the economy. That's just how cycles work, right? You can't go growth, flatline, growth. No, it doesn't really work that way, right? Growth, flatline, decline, and then growth again. That's how you do it, okay? So just how we're going. Well, now we're kind of in this decline phase right now, and this is kind of setting the stage for the next big boom in the overall economy. And again, the whole plan that we've heard about for so long now, and I talked about in that video from last week, which is this is part of the plan, in my opinion. And again, could I be totally wrong with this? I could be totally wrong with this, but it seems a little bit suspicious, and how all of this is being timed out perfectly with everything that's happening right now, especially with that reconciliation bill hanging out in the wings, that could come in at some point, and all of a sudden that's the catalyst again to reverse the trend, and all of a sudden everything takes off again, and we're back in this big, massive growth phase. Okay, so point being, and again, I've said this a couple times so far, is which the president could literally come out at any given moment and basically say anything like, we're going to do stimulus. We're going to do an executive order. We're going to put it in the reconciliation bill, anything like that. And that would be it. That would be like the keywords that anybody would want to know, and that would reverse all of this crashing and burning that we're seeing across the overall economy, the markets, things like that. That would reverse it pretty much immediately, which is, pretty interesting to see. Now, another thing that I want to throw in there as well, which is super interesting. Remember it was actually 3 weeks ago now. It was 3 weeks ago today, I think. 3 weeks ago today. I could be off by a day or so on that, but I think it was 3 weeks ago today is when the $5,000 Doge dividend plan was introduced. Do you remember that? I talked about it extensively at the time. I jumped on live streams. We discussed all the details there. But here's what's interesting about it. The president came out and made it very clear they were on board with a 20% profit share and 20% basically bounty or distribution in the form of a Doge dividend back to us based on Doge performance. Well, guess what? Just yesterday, we got confirmation out of Elon that they are already at $4 billion of savings per day. $4 billion of your money that they are saving per day based on Doge efforts. And they are on track to save $1 trillion right now. Okay, that's where they're at right now. They're already on track to save $1 trillion this, right here, right now. As of yesterday, they confirmed it. Okay, so what does that simply mean? It simply means that, well, based on the Doge dividend plan, at this point, based on the plan there, $1 trillion of savings based on what they said with the plan, that'd be about $2,500. Okay. Well, that's only after July 4th of next year, 2026. That's a very long time from now. But again, who says that they don't come out at some point here and say, we don't want to wait until after July 4th of next year, 2026, when basically Doge is dissolved. Remember that Doge is only around from January of this year until July 4th of next year, 2026. Then Doge goes away. It's not a thing forever. It's only around for about a year and a half, and then it's dissolved. Doge is no longer a thing then. But anyway, who says they don't come out at some point? And again, there's other people talking about this as well, saying, let's not wait that long, but rather let's start redistributing this money quarterly or even monthly or whatever it happens to be on a more regular basis, right? In fact, I have my letter right here. Here's the letter that I presented probably 2 weeks ago. Yeah, probably 2 weeks ago now. I wrote this letter. This is my amendments to the Doge plan, where we literally said, let's do quarterly distributions based on the performance out of Doge from the previous quarter. So rather than waiting until next year, hey, what did Doge do the previous quarter? Take that money, distribute 20% of it back to us, and here you go. That's my plan. Anyway, I presented that about 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe, give or take a little bit, in a separate video here, so you can see the whole reading of that. That's not what this video is all about, but you kind of get the plan there, okay? So it seems suspicious how all of this is coming in together all kind of at the same time right now. And yeah, to me, what it seems like is this is all part of the big plan that is out there to basically crash and burn everything, force Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to come in and lower interest rates aggressively very fast, because unless we see a crash and burn in the overall economy, and unless we see prices on everything come down, and unless we see the slowing economy, Federal Reserve's not lowering interest rates. And the president wants interest rates lowered. He wants that. He's made it very, very clear to us, right? And again, the whole thing with the tariffs, I'm still saying this much. This whole tariff talk is definitely a bluff. Okay, it's 100% a bluff. And again, you might be thinking, but dude, you're a fool. They already implemented the tariffs. I know they did. But here's the thing. They've already kicked them out so many times, right? They were supposed to go into effect way back in February. Didn't do it. Pushed them out for a month. March 4th rolls around, right? Tariffs go into effect. And then what happened? A day later, they're already starting to delay tariffs for another month now, right? My point is, this is 100% a negotiation, okay? That's all it is. It's 100% a negotiating tactic. I would not be shocked one bit when we see these tariffs roll back here. It's probably not going to be much longer. They're probably going to stay in place for a little while. Let the sting come in, let other countries feel like, oh, yeah, that's kind of painful a little bit, right? And then they come in and negotiate the details of this. So I still think it's a negotiating tactic. I do not think these tariffs are going to stick forever, but rather they're more of this thing to say okay, we're going to have the upper hand here. We're going to use this as a negotiation tactic. And that's literally what they're doing, right? And again, if you're just jumping on right now, literally a minute before I started this live stream, I got some information coming across the wire that said that apparently Canada is rolling back the electricity tariffs on the United States. So interesting, right? They're already caving, and they literally just implemented them was it yesterday or today or something like that? They literally just put them on, and now they're already rolling them back. So Kind of interesting, right? All right. So anyway, there's so much going on right now. It is a very interesting time. There's a lot of different things that are happening. And again, just want to keep you posted with everything. And I like to jump on these live streams every so often just to spend some time with you, talk through the details, answer your questions, let you know I'm here, I'm listening, I'm reading your comments. I see all those down below. I get it. A lot of people are very frustrated right now. A lot of people are very annoyed right now. A lot of people are feeling very worried, scared, frustrated, annoyed. I get it. I see it. Okay. Want to do what I can to let you know that I'm watching all this. There's not a whole lot we can do at the moment. We need to just continue to watch and see what happens. It's literally changing every single day. The landscape is changing daily, which I know seems super weird because it seemed like we went through multiple years of like nothing going on, right? A whole lot of nothing. And then all of a sudden, like the last 6 weeks or so have been like, can't even really keep up with everything anymore, right? Anyway, interesting situation. All right, so I'm going to jump into the chat now. There's a lot. I mean, I could sit here for probably a couple hours rattling off all of these different things that are happening. It's a very interesting time, right? But again, not a shock. We knew this was coming. We knew it. We've been talking about this for months. Hey, get ready. 2025 is going to be nuts. They're telling us it's going to be painful. It's going to get ugly. Some people are going to get hurt through this process. But the strategy is short-term pain for long-term gain. No pain, no gain is literally what they're saying, right? So, all right. So I'm going to get into the chat. It's going to take me a second here to get into it. If you're joining live right now, first off, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, anything like that down below. I'll do my best to answer those. Stay tuned. Yeah, stay tuned. I want to share some more information with you a little bit later today. Some new information that came out around Social Security. Yeah, you probably want to watch that. If you are a fixed income beneficiary, stay tuned. I will bring that to you. Wow. Yeah. Interesting. It is, wow. Okay. It's going to take me a second to get in the chat here. So hang on. Oh, okay. It's kind of changed a little bit. Hello. Here we go. Nice. Teresa Dara. Hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Good afternoon. Nice to have you here. Really appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. By the way, if you're just jumping on live right now, basically talking about how things are crashing and burning right now. We're seeing a lot of bad economic data coming out. Markets are rolling over. You know, investor confidence is not really there anymore. Putting more tariffs on Canada today. That's being announced. Canada rolling back tariffs. And basically at any given point now, with all these different moving parts and things like this, the president could come out literally at any given point. Doesn't mean that he's going to. I want to make that very clear. Does not mean that he's going to, but he could literally come out at any given point and basically say, yeah, there's a little bit, you know, too much that's going on here. The economies are rolling over, you know, not very good economic data points that are coming over. Economies, you know, slowing down and the markets are selling off, whatever it happens to be. And he could be like, let's do some stimulus. Let's just do that. And everything would reverse immediately and we'd see another boom cycle go through. So yeah. Nice. Susan Ryan. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining, Susan Ryan. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Gary Card Jr. is saying that SSI needs to be reformed after 50 plus years. Totally agree with you. Yep. Yeah. Nice. Cash Action Bet. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Iris. Hey, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Matthew Bracy. Hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Nice to have you. Good afternoon. Anthony. I see Anthony there. Thanks for watching, Anthony. Good afternoon. Yeah, Hallie, is it Hallie McCarty? Is that what it is? But Hallie, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Janice Ann Willis. Yeah, exactly. Yep, SSI needs stimulus checks too, 100%. Yeah, exactly. Jacqueline, I see you there as well. Thanks for watching, Jacqueline. Thank you for being here. And Michelle, I see you. Thanks for being here as well. Good afternoon. Yeah, Ralph Meyer. Yep, Ralph Meyer. Is that what it is? Ralph Meyer saying, why you keep saying stimulus? Well, I think I explained it pretty clearly here in this video. I've made it always very clear. Nope, stimulus is not approved right now. I've made that very, very clear in other videos, and I'm saying it right here again. So, I mean, I've made that very clear. I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, you're getting it tomorrow, which, by the way, some people are saying that. That's not happening. I make that very clear. But the situation is it okay to maybe look at some situations that are going on right now? And if we look back in history, what are some of the different catalysts? What are some of the different indicators that come out every single time before stimulus is basically approved and basically, sent out in that type of sense, right? Is it okay to look at that, or is it like against the law? Is it like bad for me to say that, right? I mean, here's the thing. We're looking at a situation right now where things are melting down pretty quickly, right? So would it be maybe okay to maybe look at some of the factors that are out there, some of the different indicators, maybe look at the overall economy and be like, hey, this looks a little bit reminiscent of, I don't know, gee, many of the other times we've gone through the same process where all of a sudden things are collapsing and they say, oh, quick, stimulate. And the whole thing goes wild again, which, by the way, China, I mean, I know we're not in China. Okay. We're clearly not in China. Obviously, I mean, that's not where we're at. That's not what we're talking about. But they're talking about massive stimulus again, too, right? They do it all the time. China stimulates all the time. I don't think a lot of people really realize that. They do tons of stimulus all the time. And just because they do does not mean that we do. That just because they're going to doesn't mean that we're going to. But my point is, a lot of times, a lot of these countries do the same thing. Just kind of repeat each other time and time again. So, yep. Is it Trent in Paradise? I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, with a palm tree. That's very cool. Nice. Yeah, Charlie. Is it Charlie Thomas? Is that what it is? Yeah. Interesting. I see your comment there. By the way, quick side note. I want to throw this out there just so that people are aware of this. Okay. I've been talking about this before in other videos. I've kind of alluded to this. Well, not alluded to this. I've made it very, very clear in other videos. I've made dedicated videos talking about this for, I don't know, a few weeks now. I've had a couple different videos out talking about this. I think I had a live stream talking about this, but number one is likely going to be work requirements for Medicaid. Okay, they're probably going to be implementing these. In fact, a couple of different states out there are in the process right now of implementing work requirements on Medicaid. Okay, here's another one. Literally just got done reading about this today. Tennessee, I believe it was yesterday. If you're located in Tennessee, and again, if you're not located in Tennessee, that's okay, but just take this into consideration. We're likely going to see other states doing the exact same thing. But remember, there was a federal law, okay, not a law, a federal piece of legislation that was introduced maybe, I'm going to say a month ago, give or take a little bit. It is called the Healthy SNAP Act, which basically eliminates the ability to buy things like sugary drinks, candy, prepared desserts like cookies, cake, pies, ice cream, pop, soda pop, things like this, right? Okay, so that came out. It's called the Healthy SNAP Act, okay? Now, it has not passed yet. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if they pass it, okay? In fact, I would say prepare. They're likely going to pass it. However, I believe it was just yesterday in Tennessee. They're passing it in Tennessee, okay? It's called the Tennessee Healthy SNAP Act. Look it up, okay? So my point is, there will be other states that are going to be implementing this on the state level. If the federal government cannot do it, if they can't implement it on the federal level, there's going to be states out there that do it, just like Tennessee is literally doing their version of it on the state level. So just be prepared. If you're a SNAP beneficiary, one of the 42 plus million people out there, just keep an eye on this. And again, I'll keep you posted on this. That is just in the state of Tennessee as of right now. But my point is, they've introduced it on the federal level. Again, okay, lawmakers introduced this, and I do think that's going to be coming across the entire country as well. So just be aware. Just want to keep you posted on that. Yep. Yeah, Bonnie Martinez, exactly. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you as well. Sheneagle, is that the name? Sheneagle? You're saying greetings and salutations. Hey, sorry. Not sure how to pronounce the name. I'm really sorry about that. I'm super bad at pronouncing names. I apologize. But yeah, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you. Anthony, thank you. Anthony, I really appreciate that. That's so kind of you. Yeah, thank you, Anthony. You're very, very kind. Thank you. Yeah, again, Sheneagle, I think it is. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly, but hey, nice to have you here. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us again. Yeah, glad that you're joining live. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I apologize. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, but this person is asking, hi, Matt, do you know what the holdup is on the $5,000 checks you were supposed to receive? I do. Okay. I do know the holdup, and the holdup is they're technically not even supposed to go out until after July 4th of next year, 2026. Okay. That's the situation if they even do them in the first place. Okay. I want to make that very clear. I've said that before in the videos, but that's the situation right now. The original plan states that if Doge comes together and saves $2 trillion basically of spending, right? So federal dollars, $2 trillion, they would do a 20% profit share or dividend, as they're calling it, the Doge dividend, right? So what that would be is about $400 billion would be allocated out of $2 trillion, and $400 billion would be sent back to 79 million households, which comes out to about $5,000 per household after July 4th of next year, 2026. Okay, so that's what it is right now. I fully expect that plan to change. So yeah, let me keep you posted on that, but that's what where we're at right now with that. Nice. Joe Minnick, I see you there as well. Cash Action Bet, nice to have you here. Thank you. Exactly. Yeah, James Lahr is saying, I heard they're already at $1 trillion. Good comment, James. Yeah, so they're not quite at $1 trillion yet, but they did achieve $4 billion a day as of yesterday. Okay, so yeah, it was confirmed $4 billion a day is what they're saving of federal dollars right now. So they're not quite at $1 trillion yet. They're over 100 billion. But yes, they're on track to do at least $1 trillion as of right now. So yeah, that's as of right now, and a whole lot more to come. Just to wait and see, which, by the way, again, if you're a Social Security, SSDI, survivors, retiree, SSI, any beneficiary that receives Social Security benefits, stay tuned. I'm going to bring you a different video talking about that. Some new information came out that I want to share with you in a separate video. Oh yeah, just stay tuned for that. Okay, I will bring you that information in a separate one. It's interesting. Yeah, Kenny Lynch, I see you there as well. Kenny, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Gladys, I see you there. Thanks for watching, Gladys. Happy afternoon. Good afternoon. I was about to say happy, and I was like, wait, what day is it again? Oh yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Gladys. Is it Susan Weft? Is it Susan Weft? I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Yep. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Linda Provencher. Hello, Linda. Nice to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. Yep. Thanks for being here, Linda. Is it Monique Forte? Monique Forte. Hey, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yep. Kenny Lynch. Nice. So Hallie McCarty, yeah, I see your comment there. You're saying, do you think that they're going to make people who have a disability work to get their Medicaid? My simple answer to that would be, number one, well, let's just see what the rules are going to be once they roll this out. I've already seen a handful of states that are rolling out work requirements for Medicaid recipients. However, when it comes down to somebody with a disability, the answer to that would be, in my opinion, again, maybe they changed the rules on this, But in general, the answer is no. No, somebody with a disability, no. Why? Because it goes back to the ABAWD classification, and that stands for able-bodied adult without dependent, okay? So able-bodied would be, somebody that's able-bodied. I'm just going to say this. I know this sounds kind of weird, but somebody who has a disability is not considered able-bodied, okay? There's honestly no other way for me to say that. That's just the reality, okay? So I fall into that category as well. I am not able-bodied. Why? I'm blind. I technically have a disability, right? So, I mean, I would think somebody would agree that being blind is a disability. I'm just saying, okay? If it's not, I'm not really sure what classifies as a disability then, right? But that's the situation, okay? So yeah, I am not able-bodied. So in my situation, again, I'm just giving this as an example here, which is in my situation, considering a disability, it wouldn't matter. I would not have to work for Medicaid, basically coverage because the disability. Same situation applies, right? And again, that goes for the work requirements for SNAP benefits, Medicaid, all the things like that. But again, we really have to wait to see what the rules are around this kind of when they roll that out. Does that kind of make sense? So yeah, Hallie, I hope that answers it for you. Is it Blondie 40? Blondie 40? Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. I mean, yeah, thanks for being here. Blondie 40. Yeah, awesome. Oh, nice. Never caught in a live before. That's awesome. Blondie 40. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Nice. Gamilio Santano. Hello, Gamilio Santano. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. James Lara. Yeah, awesome. Which, by the way, quick question, or quick side note here. If you're just jumping on right now, basically, you might be thinking, this has like nothing to do with what the title says here. Well, here's the thing. In the first, how I structure the live streams is the first 10, 15-ish minutes of the live stream. I spend the time there talking about what I want to discuss. And then I get into comments here in the chat box. And that's where we're at right now. So if you're just jumping on right now, the best thing I'd say to do is watch the first 10, 15 minutes of this live stream as I talked about all the details there. But basically what I'm saying is there's a lot of things that are melting down right now. We're seeing a lot of so-called, I'm just going to say not good economic data coming out. We're seeing the markets rolling over and selling off. We're seeing a lot of people that are not very confident in this overall economy right now. We're seeing kind of a lot of pain across the board. We've got Doge going to town on all these different agencies. We're seeing people losing their jobs left and right. The job report that came out this past Friday was honestly not great, but honestly, it really wasn't that bad either. Tomorrow morning, by the way, Wednesday morning at, 8:30 a.m. East Coast time, we will have the inflation report. Okay, so just be aware of that one. That's coming out tomorrow morning. I will keep you posted on that, but I would anticipate that's going to be hot again. It's likely to come in showing that inflation has ticked up yet again. Is that going to be good? Not really, right? I think we're kind of sick of that. So that comes out tomorrow morning, and I would be willing to bet that that's probably going to sink some more confidence. In other words, more people are going to be, probably losing a little bit more confidence across the board. It's just not going to be a thing, right? So there we go. Just a lot of different catalysts that are all coming together simultaneously. And as I focused on in that video last week, I made a dedicated video where I was saying, I think, and again, I could be totally wrong with this. I'm not some conspiracy theorist, and I'm not like some doomsdayer saying, oh, come on, crash the economy. I'm not like that, but I'm just a realist. I like to look at everything realistically, and I'm very honest about things, okay? I'm very realistic about everything that's going on. Like me personally, I'm very, very, kind of harsh on myself. I mean, if anybody knows me, my people are like, oh, you're too hard on yourself, because I'm a realist. I mean, I look at things for a face value exactly how they are. But my point is, I look at the same situation here with everything that's going on, and I feel like what we're currently seeing is probably, based on what I'm seeing and what we know the objective of the administration is, we're probably seeing an administration that's probably crashing and burning the economy on purpose to achieve the objective, which is very, very low interest rates across the board. And then ultimately the opportunity to come in and really, really juice up this economy with a whole bunch of money. Okay. And when that happens, you get a huge, huge, huge boom that comes out of it and massive, massive growth. So that's the long-term plan here. And I think in order to get there, based on what we know, and again, just looking at economic trends and understanding economics and markets and things like this, and the natural ebb and flow of business cycles and economic cycles and things like that, this is how it has to go. Unfortunately, I know it sounds super weird, like, what? How does it have to do this? It kind of has to go through this time. You kind of have to get a little painful when it comes down to the economy and the markets and things like this in order to get into the position of, all right, it's go time and let's juice the economy, okay? And how do you do that? You get a ton of money and you push it into the economy, and then you see this huge, huge, huge growth spurt for quite a few years. So it's kind of where we're going, and can't get there yet, but it's probably where we're going. And again, at any given point, the president could snap his fingers and literally say, okay, enough's enough here. Time to roll. Let's get some stimulus going. Okay, so that's kind of the situation here. Yeah, it's a very interesting time. Nice. Pat Smith. Pat Smith. Hello. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Nice. Cash action bets. Yeah, I see you. Nice. Thank you. Nice. Gamilio Santano. Thanks for joining us. And nice to see you as always. Is it Michael Sibbett? Michael Sibbett, I think it is. Hey, Michael, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. Georgia Jacob. Is that what it is? Georgia Jacob? Yeah, exactly. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kenny Lynch. Exactly. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. SSDI, SSI. Yep. Thank you, Kenny Lynch. Yeah, Pauline Mead. Pauline Mead is saying, do you know people on SSDI, SSI, Social Security would be getting a stimulus? Okay. Now, I want to make it very clear. I've said this before. And again, just want to make it very clear so there's no misunderstanding about this. Right now, there's not stimulus. Okay. There's not right now. I think we all understand that. We totally understand that. However, in the event of something being approved or talked about or whatever it happens to be, whatever word you want to put in there, just like a few years ago, we're low income, Social Security, SSDI, survivors, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, seniors, people with disabilities, low income, were all these individuals included? Yeah, exactly, right? It's always income based. That's how it always is. And again, who knows? Will they have some kind of weird parameters around it, next time? I don't know. Again, that's the thing, is we have to just continue to watch and see. They're always going to have different rules around it every single time. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And again, I will keep you posted on that as we get more information about it. But again, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, we're getting something tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying at all. Not whatsoever, right? But rather, I just want to point out kind of what we're watching right now and all the different moving parts that are coming in right now and how this is honestly a really weird time. It's a very interesting time. And yeah, just a lot of things that are happening. Yeah, is it Anna Coleman? Is that what it is? Anna, hey, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, exactly. SR is saying if SSI gets a raise to their benefit, their other benefits get cut. Yeah, unfortunately, that is the case for a lot of people. So, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah, Scott Niles. Scott Niles. Yeah, thanks for being here. I see you there as well. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Nice. Schneegel. Schneegel. I see your comment there. Thanks for watching. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, John Shelton. Exactly. John Shelton. Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, appreciate you as well. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here, John. Yeah, Pat Smith. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's probably leave it at that for now. And again, I think this probably kind of clears it all up, as clear as we can possibly get it right now. I know that's a very, very odd time. And I know I say that a lot lately, but that's honestly the situation right now. So we have to just continue watching this. And I know I say that all the time, but realistically, do we know what's going to come the rest of today? Probably not really. Do we know what's going to come tomorrow or the rest of this week? Probably not really whatsoever. That's what's such a weird time about right now, and why there's so much uncertainty, which is making a lot of people very, very uneasy about this whole situation, because we really don't know, right? And that's the thing. Over the last several years, it's been kind of easy because it's like, we kind of know what's going to come. It's been, it's kind of been easy to predict. But lately, it's been like, who knows what's going to happen next? So anyway, we're likely going to see more economic pressure. And again, that's an okay thing. If you are in the situation of wanting additional stimulus or anything like that, this is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. Going through the situation that we have been for the last few years with no real pain in the overall economy, there wasn't really any need to do stimulus at that point, right? I mean, obviously we would say, oh yeah, there's all kinds of need. We need it, things like that. But from the economic standpoint, from the standpoint of lawmakers, they're looking at it and saying, no, the economy's not crashing and burning. Why would we do stimulus, right? But when the economy comes in, crashes and burns, goes down significantly, markets are tanking, things like that, consumer confidence is way down, businesses are laying off, unemployment rate is going higher, the Federal Reserve is holding interest rates very high, inflation is still elevated, all of these different catalysts like this and all of these things coming together. And then again, we've got the tariffs on top of it. We've got Doge doing everything that they are. Yeah, a lot of things that are happening. Okay. So, yeah, by the way, if you're just joining on right now, what I would say, check out the first 10 or 15 minutes of this video. Okay. Just check out the first 10 or 15 minutes. And yeah, that should explain a lot of what I'm talking about here, and just kind of explain what I'm watching very closely and how literally at any given moment, when we potentially see all of this continue to collapse even further. Now, by the way, everything we've been experiencing here over the last couple of days, the market's selling off, all this uncertainty around the economy, Doge doing all these weird things, the tariff that's coming in. I mean, the tariffs that are coming across the board that we're putting on other countries are putting on us. We're seeing all this economic uncertainty. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This is likely going to hang around for a while, and it's probably going to continue to be more and more uncertain, which is part of the plan, in my opinion. But as we continue to move forward, we'll just have to see how this whole thing transpires, which, by the way, it wasn't that long ago. I think it was last week, one day. All of a sudden, they revised their growth projections for the overall economy in the first quarter of this year to negative 2.8, whereas prior to that, they had growth expectations of 2.3 as far as GDP goes, right? So we went from positive 2.3 to negative 2.8. That's a difference of 5.1%, the spread between those. That would not be a good thing if we were to see the economy go down that much and contract that much, right? So that'd be basically the first quarter of two that we need to get into basically a major recession. So anyway, yep. Porky, is it Porky? I see your comment there. You're funny. Yeah. Yeah, Kim Keeler. Is it Kim Keeler? I see you there as well. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. Yep. Shinigal. Yeah, quick side note. You're saying summer is coming. Learn to grow fruit. Quick side note, you probably know about this as a SNAP beneficiary, somebody who has Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits. Just want to throw it out there really quickly in case you did not know this, but you can use your SNAP benefits to buy seeds. And again, you probably know this oh, that's such old news, but really you can, okay? So if you didn't know that, you can use your SNAP benefits to buy seeds. You can buy whatever, seeds to grow whatever, all kinds of vegetables or fruits or whatever, which is honestly really cool because you could buy a pack of fruit, or whatever, vegetables, that's however many dollars, or you could grow a plant that grows a ton of them, right? For a fraction of the price. You can buy one of those little packs of seeds for I don't know, $1.50 or something like that. And you could have a ton of food that comes off that thing with all the plants that are growing from it. So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool if you're into that. Melissa, I apologize. Melissa G, I think it is. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. I apologize, but you said, will my Medicaid and food stamps be cut off? No, not as of right now. Okay. Could things change? For sure. Things could absolutely change, right? So that's kind of the situation. Things could definitely change. But as of right now, no, I wouldn't anticipate the things I wouldn't anticipate you're just going to get a cut off out of nowhere. So yeah, I certainly really wouldn't worry about that right now. Even though, Melissa, even though it feels like, oh, I'm pretty sure they're going to do something like that. I know it feels that way, but yeah, yeah, I wouldn't say that. Oh, really? Interesting. Shel Balestro. Yeah, you're saying the president is live right now. Interesting. I'm curious what he's saying. Obviously, I'm not watching it at the moment, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. So, yep. Thank you, Shel B. Jesse, you're saying, are people on SSI, SSDI going to get another stimulus check? Yes or no? The answer is, well, depends. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to do that to be funny. I apologize. But seriously, what I'm saying is, it really depends on what they plan on doing here going forward. If there is another stimulus, which again, I've made it very clear, as of right now, there's not as of right now. Okay. But if there happens to be one, usually they are very broad and they reach a lot of people. Okay, but that's kind of the situation. The last 3 times we got checks here just a few years ago, yes, SSDI, SSI, retirees, seniors, people with disabilities, low income, spousal, survivors, VA, RRB individuals were included for that. Okay, so that's kind of the situation that we're at right now. And why I said depends is in the event that they are approved or that they do plan on going out or whatever the situation is, then I would say for sure you would likely be included on that. But let's just see what they do, right? That's kind of the situation, but it's all going to be predicated on, again, I've said it so many times, the overall economy. I know it sounds super weird. Like, how does that have anything to do with it? It does. It's always 100% predicated on that. Is it Christy Butler? Christy Butler, you said I was told that I should be getting more money. How do I find out? Situations like this. Again, I'd be kind of interested to know who told you that you should be getting more money. Was it like Social Security or like your brother or like Social Security agent? Like, I'm kind of curious who told you that, number one. And then have you set up a My Social Security account on the Social Security website? Okay. If you've not done that, Christy Butler, I would say for sure, check out the Social Security website. Make sure you're on the authentic website, ssa.gov, and set up your My Social Security account there. You can see everything about your benefit. You may want to do that. It's probably really good information. I'm signed up there. I know a lot of people are. Really good information that's available there. So yeah, you probably want to do that. That's what I would say to do that. But I'm kind of curious about the situation. All right. So anyway, let's leave it at that. And again, if you're just jumping on now, check out the first like 10 or 15 minutes of this video. I kind of clarified everything there. And then once we get into the chat here, we kind of spend a bunch of time talking about all kinds of different things. But I'd say check that out. Kind of interesting to see what's happening here. A lot of moving parts, which by the way, stay tuned. I have some more information I want to share with you as far as new information that came out around Social Security, fixed income benefits. Pretty shocking. So stay tuned for that. I'll bring that to you in a separate video. Got a lot to talk about there as well. Anyway, have a nice afternoon. I'm going to have Corey help me with this. We're kind of on a little bit of a different platform right now. But anyway, I will see you again soon. Again, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you. Yeah, enjoy. All right, so Corey's going to help me here.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you soon.